Source on the ground in DC just gave some crazy, crazy details about the man who ambushed those two soldiers, those two National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. By the way, I don't have quite an update yet. There's been so many conflicting reports, but we are praying for their safety. We are praying that they get better. So first we had that they were murdered, then they were fighting for their life in critical condition. So we just send prayers to them. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Source in D.C. tells Julio Rosas, tells him that the National Guardsman shooting suspect is an Afghan national who used a revolver. A National Guardsman who was not armed with a firearm used a pocket knife to stab the suspect. Another guardsman responded to the gunfire and shot the suspect multiple times. The suspect reportedly shouted, Allahu Akbar. So this is the last thing that Democrats wanted to hear. And also CNN is forced to tell the truth about the guy that they've caught. Again, here he is right here. His real name is Ramanala Lakanwal. So he's from Afghanistan. He's in an Afghanistan refuge. And here we go. Before I read any more reports, here is CNN, John Miller, having to tell the rest of America and the world who this guy is, because, again, many conflicting reports. Democrats are blaming Trump for this. Trump and right wing and including myself are saying that the seditious six had a lot to do with this, because their Slotkin is on camera encouraging people to believe that the National Guard is really there to attack American men and women. And then you have this coming out. So here we go. I want you guys to take a listen to this detail after detail here live on CNN. They're forced to tell you where this guy came through and from. Take a listen.
Here it is. What do you know?
Well, this individual appears to be from Washington State. It appears that he immigrated here into the United States in 2021 as part of the operation to bring Afghanis who had worked with or assisted the United States government over into this country as Afghanistan was beginning to fall.
The Special Immigrant Visa Program, SIV program.
Right, exactly. This was the Allies Welcome Program. He applied for asylum under that program and was granted that asylum in April of this year, although he's been here, it appears, since 2021. So that sets this in a place where the FBI is going to be looking at what was the vetting that was done prior to his arrival here. When he settled in Washington, what has been his activities here in the United States? What brought him to Washington? How long has he been there? But it's going to give them a better direction at this point as they try to get from who is this individual, which they believe they've established, to what is his motive. Now, a number of motives could come up there. One could be that he was disenchanted in the United States. Another could be that he was angry at the U.S. military or felt betrayed and came upon people in uniform when he traveled to Washington. Or it could be something altogether.
Brutal. And I mean brutal for the Democrats. Asylum program came through the border in 2021 through the Joe Biden administration. Even Elon Musk has come out and said that this was the plan all along. You guys know Elon's been talking about immigration, him being someone who immigrated here with his family. So he's very, very passionate about this specific topic. And many different people are screaming the alarms on sleeper cells. They're finally being activated. So we got a lot of back and forth. Though I kind of want to dive into the side of Elon for a moment. But before we get there, let's actually go to something that Elon reposted. Here we go. The suspect who is accused of shooting the two National Guardsmen has been identified as an Afghan national. According to NBC News, the incident is being investigated as a possible act of terrorism, according to the outlet. The official said the suspect, who is alleged to have used a handgun, has been initially identified as an Afghan national. Law enforcement officials are trying to confirm the person's details. Here we go. We have everything here. Again, CNN, NBC, everybody is forced to, again, talk about what they're seeing, who this guy is, and where is he from. which kind of defeats the narrative of let them all in, which is something that, again, Trump argued against and campaigned against. So here we go. Shooting investigated as possible act of terrorism. Sources say the FBI initially investigate the shooting as a possible act of terrorism. Two senior U.S. law enforcement officials said. The officials said that the suspect, who is alleged to have used a handgun that has been initially identified as an Afghan national, law enforcement officials are still trying to confirm all the person's details. They said a motive has not been determined and the nature of the investigation could change. So again, what's the motive? What would you guys say the motive is when you hear about something like this? So again, multiple Afghan national who entered in 2021, aka at a time when Biden administration was importing and resettling an untold number of Afghan refugees after his withdrawal disaster. Joe Biden was the worst president in American history, and everyone who worked for his administration should be shunned from society, says here Greg Price. So again, he is reading this from Camilo Montoya Galvez. He's saying that CBS News, multiple law enforcement officials say that the suspect of the shooting was a member of one of the National Guard members in D.C. Today is 29-year-old Afghan national Ramullah Lakanwal, noting that he entered the U.S. in 2021. Yeah, there is a picture of Joe Biden. Somebody posted Joe Biden. He says that he did that. And then the worst part about it is that he allegedly was screaming Allahu Akbar, which is also not a good thing for Democrats. This is very, very, very bad. Why did he do it? Did he feel that did he feel that he had to go to Washington, D.C. to fight back and fight against the National Guard because of Trump? And again, everybody here is talking about this. Even Democrats, even people who don't even like Trump are saying National Guard shooter may have been a Biden asylum entry. Two law enforcement officials and a person familiar with the matter said that the suspect was believed to have been an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in September of 2021, who has been living in the state of Washington. So he's far away from home, being that he ended up in Washington, D.C. to try and literally take the lives of two National Guardsmen. So again, many Democrats are under fire. Don Lemon being one of them. Don Lemon, again, and we got to talk about the fake news, as Trump likes to say, the fake news, because, ladies and gentlemen, they are literally some of the main people trying to convince you that Trump is the problem, that the National Guardsmen being there should have never been there. Nothing would have ever happened to them. And one of those people is Don Lemon. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. We are in the holiday season. Unfortunately, I'm not really in the holiday season anymore as I'm investigating this for you. This is pretty shocking news as to what's been happening. So again, you have Don Lemon now under fire for saying this.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for?
So again, Don Lemon under huge fire, and I mean like huge fire. Many people are calling that he be investigated for, again, perpetrating this attack. A lot of people say that this rhetoric, he is responsible for saying that, again, National Guardsmen and all these people are coming after brown and black people. So again, here we go. We got another update here, a beautiful update, actually. Let's actually go here real quick, and I'll end the video here because, again, we got the big news. He is a refugee who came in under Biden. The asylum-seeking program was not vetted, got approved. So again, we talk about the hatred that people already have for the United States of America. And again, I'm one of the criticizers of how much bad we've done around the world, whether we go through invasions that we should have never been in, from these rhinos and these Democrats who again bombed the Middle East to whatever. But the truth is that after all of that, you can look at and know that the truth is that they don't like America. They don't like the way of living. A lot of them are Muslim. A lot of them are they don't like the Jewish relationships that we have. They don't like Israel, of course. We know that. I'm not the biggest fan of any of that stuff. I'm America and America only. I am not for any foreign nation. But this, we have to look at what got us here. And what got us here is that the Biden administration, which is letting anybody in 2021, is this a beginning trail of what could come, or is this not? What is actually the real story here as we get more details? But a good thing that I saw here that I want to share with you guys was an incredible moment as National Guardsmen prayed together outside the emergency room as two of our troops fight for their lives after being shot. So take a look at this. So as you can hear them loudly praying, and they're praying for the two National Guardsmen. So that is the update: is that they are waiting in the hospital. Hopefully, they're hoping and praying that something works here, that they both come out alive. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we got the truth. We know exactly who the guy is. We know how he got in the country. CNN was forced to say it. Again, going back to Elon Musk, I want to go to Elon real quick because he has been one of the people that have spoken about this. And again, Democrats sending their condolences, and Democrats, you know, they're the ones that, man, they're like it's so crazy to see them come out and say sorry to the family, sending them their prayers, but they like, man, I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not gonna get banned off this platform. So here we go. So Elon Musk says, my deepest condolences to the families of the two National Guardsmen who were murdered in cold blood. This is before he knew that they were still fighting for their lives. Again, the conflicting reports. He says, how many innocent people dying does it take to reform our broken system? Radical action is needed. And again, he's been one of those people that have been talking about this for a very, very long time. He feels that Democrats are willing to take the chance to bring in anybody. They were radically willing to take the chance to bring in anybody, approve them for asylum, because they felt that it will work to make sure. And again, this is, a lot of people say, is a big conspiracy of Elon, that he's only feeling like that, you know, because he sees that there is a one-party rule and one-party system, and the only way to do that is that Democrats feel that they have to inject the system with a whole bunch of illegal immigrants, illegal immigration. He's an immigrant himself, so he's talking about it from that perspective. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that is a huge update, and I hope you guys enjoyed that version of the news. If I have more updates, I will be updating you guys later on.